it's that time of the year again where a lot of new games get revealed during the summer. From indie games to AA games and AAA games. I'll be focusing on games that I'm actually interested in playing. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, where shall I begin? Oh yeah, Sony's State of Play. It starts off with a bang, revealing the new Wolverine game. After waiting for a few years, we finally get to see it in action. I like how quick and snappy Wolverine's gameplay feels when fighting enemies. The cinematic action sequences they've shown so far look pretty good. The trailer also features other characters such as Omega Red, Mystique, Sabretooth, and Jean Grey. I'm not too crazy about Jean Grey's design. She looks more like Black Widow than Jean Grey. I wish they would have gone with one of her more iconic comic book outfits instead. Wolverine, on the other hand, he looks awesome! His design is very faithful to the comics. It shows that they put a lot of care into it. The game will be an exclusive for the PS5. Unfortunately, I don't have a PS5, but I'm hoping that maybe, just maybe, Sony will change their minds and port it to the PC. I know there's a chance that it might not happen, but I can dream, can't I? The next game I want to talk about is Rayman Legends Retold. The game is a reimagining of Rayman Legends and has been remade in 3D. This announcement completely caught me off guard, and I wasn't expecting it at all. The last Rayman game we got was Rayman Mini, which was released on Apple Arcade in 2019. So yeah, it's been a long time. So why are they remaking Rayman Legends? The game will add brand new levels, including dragon riding sequences, as well as a new story, new cutscenes, and a new villain to battle. Oh, and the game launches on October 1st and will be available on PC and all major consoles. Personally, I would have preferred a new Rayman game instead, but since Ubisoft is going out of their way to add brand new things to this remake, I will give this game a chance. One more thing to note is that David Gassman and Billy West will reprise their roles as Rayman and Murphy, respectively. Both of these actors have voiced these characters before in previous Rayman games. In David's case, he also returned to voice Rayman in the 2023 DLC for Mario + Rabbids Sparks of Hope: The Phantom Show. It's great to see both David and Billy returning to voice these characters once again. Oh, and one last thing. Rayman Origins Enhanced Edition is also being bundled with every purchase of Rayman Legends Retold. Now, for some reason, Ubisoft didn't mention this in the trailer, they kinda just shadow dropped it. I found this information out from a YouTuber called Corkben, so go check out his channel for more info about Rayman Origins Enhanced Edition and other Rayman related videos. So what's new about the Rayman Origins Enhanced Edition? It updates the game for modern platforms with quality of life and accessibility features, new collectibles, and more. It will also run at 4K resolution and at 60 frames per second. Okay, now this sounds like a pretty sweet deal. But what about Legends Retold? Will it have a special deluxe edition? Rayman Legends Retold will launch with both standard and deluxe editions of the game. The standard edition will be $40 for the game alone, plus Rayman Origins Enhanced Edition. Now as for the deluxe edition, it will cost $50 for the game, an in-game art gallery, a retro pack with 4 costumes, and Rayman Origins Enhanced Edition. There's even a pre-order bonus for 2 Hoodlum Havoc costumes for Rayman and Glowbox. It kinda sucks that these costumes are locked behind a pre-order bonus, but hopefully they'll return in a free update, or become available for purchase at a very low price. The former would be preferable. Anyway, let's move on to the next game. Fumito Ueda, the creator of Ico, Shadow of Colossus, and The Last Guardian, comes back with a brand new game called genATLAS. It looks like it's going to be a more sci-fi themed game, compared to his other previous game where it's more fantasy themed. In this game, you get to ride a giant robot. Now, who doesn't like giant robots? I'm very curious about the story. Will this futuristic game be connected to Shadow of the Colossus and the other games? Or will it be its own thing? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Then there's the new TMNT game called The Last Ronin. It's being developed by Platinum Games, and it's based on the graphic novel of the same name. The graphic novel was really good, and I can't wait to see how the game turns out. After all, Platinum Games has a strong track record with the hack-and-slash titles like the Bayonetta series, Metal Gear Rising, Revengeance, Nier Automata, The Wonderful 101, and more. So I'm really excited to see what they will do with it. Alien Isolation 2 was definitely not on my bingo card. It's a sequel to the first Alien Isolation where you play as Ripley's daughter, Amanda. The first game was very successful at delivering a genuinely terrifying survival horror experience. Unfortunately, I never finished the original game. So I guess it's finally time to go back and beat it before the sequel comes out. Let's talk about Capcom. Last year, we got the reveal of a new Mega Man game, Dual Override, which is scheduled to be released in 2027. Although, that's not the only Capcom game coming that year. For the past several years, Capcom has been on a roll with remaking its classic games, and Code Veronica happens to be the next title getting the remake treatment. It's another beloved entry in the Resident Evil franchise. This has people super stoked for this remake because people have been asking for this. There was also a DLC announcement for Resident Evil 9 Requiem. I still haven't had the chance to play Requiem yet, but hopefully I'll be able to check it out sometime in the future. No Straight Roads 2. It was revealed earlier this year and it recently got a new trailer. However, there's still no release date. Thankfully, we got to see some new gameplay footage for the game. The story follows Mayday, Zook, and two new bandmates as they embark on a world tour to compete against international musical rivals. Along the way, a catastrophic failure involving the Grand Quaza, an advanced rhythmic technology that powers the city, causes its fragments to shatter and scatter across the peninsula. And as a result, the band must help solve the resulting energy crisis by recovering the scattered pieces of the technology. The sequel takes place 3 years after the events of the first game. Speaking of the original, I actually really enjoyed it. It had a lot of fun gameplay, great characters, a unique art style, and a good story filled with funny and memorable moments. The first game's ending was fairly open-ended. It could have easily stood on its own as a one-off, but it also left enough room for a potential sequel. I always felt like it deserved one, and now it's finally happening. I'm looking forward to playing the sequel once it eventually comes out. During the Day of the Devs livestream, there were a couple of games that caught my eye. The first one was Super Yooka-Laylee Kart. A lot of people were speculating whether Platinum Games will make a Yooka-Laylee sequel or a kart game. Sure enough, we ended up getting a kart game that's inspired by Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart Circuit. At least, from what I've heard. It's available to wishlist now. Now as for the second game, it's called Slap Out of It, a slap-and-solve adventure that stretches your wits and your noodly arms in all directions in this comedic sandbox game. Guys, it has puppets and you get to slap them. With all this slapstick humor, it kind of reminds me of the Muppet Show, known for doing the same thing. So it's another great game to look forward to. What do you get when you combine a duck and a robot together? You get DekaDuck, a half-duck, half-robot hero. And it's inspired by Mega Man. It's also a Kickstarter project and the demo is available to play now. Speaking of Mega Man, this next indie game is also heavily inspired by Mega Man. Recently, Gravity Circuit 2 was announced. With the announcement of the sequel, the first Gravity game will be free on Steam until June 14th. I'm glad I was able to get a free copy because I've wanted to play this game for a while. As a fan of Mega Man, I'm always interested in checking out games inspired by Mega Man. The next game is called Wild Blue Skies, which is a Star Fox-inspired rail shooter game. Wild Blue Skies was announced a few months ago and was planned to release in 2026. Recently, we finally got a release date for the game. It will be released on August 13th. One cool detail that I learned is that Wild Blue Skies is being developed by Giles Goddard, one of the key programmers on the original 1993 Star Fox for the Super Nintendo. That's amazing! It only adds more hype to this rail shooter game. Spyro's back, baby! Let's go! I can't believe we're getting a brand new Spyro game. It's called Spyro: A Realm Beyond. I really dig Spyro's new look. They basically took his reignited design and made a few tweaks to it. I don't know if it's just me, but does Spyro look a teensy bit older in this new design? Or is it just me? Regardless, I'm very excited for this new Spyro game. The game releases in spring 2027. And yes, it's coming to PC and all consoles. Now, before I get into the Nintendo Direct, there are a couple more things I want to talk about. First, there's the Disney Afternoon Collection. This collection was released several years ago, but it never made its way to the Switch. This year, it's finally coming to the Switch and Switch 2. The digital copy of the game was released back in February, while the physical version launched on May 29. What makes this release even more exciting is that it includes 2 additional classic games that weren't part of the original collection, Bonkers and Goof Troop. I'm curious whether these 2 games will remain exclusive for the Switch and Switch 2 versions, or if the developers plan on releasing an updated version for PC and other consoles as well. Either way, I'm glad to see Disney Afternoon Collection finally arrive on Nintendo platforms. Speaking of collections, Toy Story is also getting its very own game collection. It includes games from the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, PlayStation, and more. It has bonus features such as behind-the-scenes interviews, sneak peeks, quality of life features such as rewind and saves, and much more. Not only that, Toy Story 3 is also being remastered. It will be upscaled to 4K and run at 60 frames per second. It will also include the Toy Box mode, an open-world sandbox mode, and you get to play as Emperor Zurg. That's pretty cool. So it's great to see these game collections finally come to modern consoles.
Alrighty then.
It's finally time to talk about the games from the Nintendo Direct. Kingdom Hearts 1 through 3 is coming to the Switch too. These will be the actual games and not the cloud versions that were available on the original Switch. I've heard that the cloud versions didn't run very well on Switch, so it's good to know the full games will run smoothly on the new console. The collection releases in October 8th. Kingdom Hearts 4 is also coming to the Switch too, and the game is set to release in 2027. Up next is Star Fox. The new game has a playable demo available now. If you're curious about the game, here's your chance to give it a try. Nintendo really should offer demos more often to encourage more people to try their games before purchasing them. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is available now on the eShop. I haven't played the reimagined version of Final Fantasy VII yet, but I want to play the original first before diving into the newer version. It looks like a fun action RPG, and I've heard really good things about the original game. Stellar Blade is coming to the Switch too, which is surprising considering it was originally a PS5 exclusive, before eventually making its way to PC. I'm glad to see another hack-and-slash game joining the Switch 2's library. Lies of P Complete Edition is also coming to the Switch too. The full game, along with the Overture DLC, will be included on the cartridge itself, so no game key cards here. I briefly played it on Xbox Game Pass and had a lot of fun with it. So it's cool to see the game making its way to Nintendo's newest console. During the Treehouse Live event, Nintendo showcased some new gameplay footage of Splatoon Raiders. One of the cool things about this game is you get to team up with the musical trio Deep Cut and hunt for treasure across the Spiralite Islands. The game is a single-player adventure, but it also includes a 4-player online co-op mode. They showed off some new gear and special weapons you'll use while exploring the islands and fighting off wild salmonids. There's even a special exploration bot that one of the Deep Cut members can pilot to assist you on your journey. The exploration bot can launch you into the air to reach hard-to-access areas or help you get the drop on enemies. It also has a special meter that fills up over time, and once it's full, one of the Deep Cut members exits the bot and unleashes a powerful attack against the salmonids. There's also a leveling system for both your character and your gear. The game releases on July 23rd. But that's not all. There's a tie-in comic called Deep Cut's Island Misadventures, and it will be released on the Nintendo Today app from June 23rd to July 23rd, leading up to the game's release. In addition, a special Splatfest event themed around Splatoon Raiders will be held in Splatoon 3 from July 10th to July 12th. On June 30th, a dedicated Splatoon Raiders Direct will also air, covering more details about the game. Overall, I'm super stoked about this game. Rhythm Heaven Groove. This game was first announced during last year's Nintendo Direct. so it's great to finally see it nearing release next month on July 2nd. Normally, I don't play rhythm games that much, but this game looks like a lot of fun and I'm willing to give it a try. Then there are the DK challenges for the classic Donkey Kong games and the challenges for Donkey Kong Bonanza, both of which I'm really looking forward to playing. However, there's a catch. They'll only be available for a limited time.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Seriously, I don't understand Nintendo's logic here. Why make these limited time events? They did the exact same thing with Super Mario 35 during the 35th anniversary of the Super Mario Bros. And I never understood that decision either. As part of the 40th Super Mario Bros. Anniversary celebration, DK and Smallene are getting Mario and Luigi costumes in Donkey Kong Bonanza, along with some Mario-themed content spread out throughout the level. Once again though, it's only available for a limited time. I understand that it's meant to celebrate the anniversary, but still, why? Why not just make it a permanent update? But I digress. I'm just gonna move on to the next and final game on the list.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
There had been a rumor circulating that a remake of Ocarina of Time was gonna be featured in the Nintendo Direct. Of course, I took this rumor with a grain of salt, but I wasn't opposed to the idea of an Ocarina of Time remake. Towards the end of the Direct, it was revealed that the rumor was indeed true, with more information coming later this year. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest here. I felt a little bit disappointed. Yes, I'm thrilled that the rumor turned out to be true, but the rumor itself kind of spoiled the reveal for me. If I had gone into the Direct blind and seen the teaser trailer without any prior knowledge, I think I would have been much more enthusiastic. On the other hand, they really didn't show much in the trailer. I really wish they had included at least a small gameplay segment. That way we can see how the gameplay and graphics look in the game. As for the release date, many Zelda games have launched during the holiday season, so it's probably a safe bet that this one could also arrive in November. If that's the case, it's only about 5 months away. Nintendo needs to hurry up and start showing off this game soon, so we can get a better look at what has been added or changed in the remake. Because 5 months can go by pretty quickly. Since this year marks the 40th anniversary of the Legend of Zelda series, I wonder if Nintendo will release an Ocarina of Time themed Switch 2 edition. I mean, they have to do something special for Zelda's anniversary, right? It would be really crazy if they didn't. Overall, despite my mixed feelings about the reveal, I'm still looking forward to the Ocarina of Time remake, and I can't wait to see more of it. Phew, that was a lot of games to go through. There were a few highs and lows during these game reveals. There were some games I was really excited for, while others I just didn't care for. So what do you guys think? Which games are you most excited for? Let me know. As always, keep things civil and respectful in the comments. If you made it through this video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe. I know it may sound a bit repetitive to say, but it really does help. It helps me and my channel, and your support encourages me to make more fun videos. Now with that being said, I'm the Super Gaming Artist, and have a great day or night, and I'll see you all next time.